Four-wheel drive only part on Highway 12 to get off Hatteras Island flooded again at high tide.
Well, it's reopened now, but there's trouble. The tides are making it impossible for road crews to bring Highway 12 back online. Now, this is what they're dealing with. Ripped up roads, overwash, and the angry residents who are tired of riding 2-hour ferries to get on the island. Andy Fox has one of the answers in this investigation into solving what's wrong with Hatteras Island. Andy?
Tom and Alvita, what's wrong with Hatteras Island? Look, right here in Buxton, no beach. Tonight, Dare County Manager Bobby Alton is putting together numbers and a plan to take to Washington to do on Hatteras Island what was done successfully in South Nags Head: build more beach.
During the Hurricane Sandy, it's not about your house being out here next to the ocean. You absolutely have a house in the ocean.
John Wadsworth's home is in the ocean, and his septic tank and his truck. His home is condemned, not sure he can rebuild, nor are all the other owners of the septic tanks that litter the sands like open coffins. When you hear people say your house is in peril, but you bought this house and this is what you signed up for.
Right, but when I bought it, the water wasn't under it. It was a good 100 feet out there where it should have been.
Erosion has taken its toll. There is no more beach in Merlo, in Rodanthe, in Buxton.
Protect NC-12 by putting a beach out in front of it.
For Wadsworth and for many others, the only solution is to replenish the beach to pump sand to shore.
You've given the storm something to eat. That's not building.
Sand is what the storm needs to eat, says Chairman of the Dare County Board of Commissioners, Warren Judge.
The other side, the opponents, will sit there and say, well, Warren, that's just going to cost money all the time, all the time, all the time. Well, we're spending money all the time. Let's spend money proactively. Let's build that beach, and every couple of years you'll probably have to put a little bit more sand on it.
Fed up with what has become the status quo and lawsuits by what Judge calls the environmental special interest groups, Dare County has turned to an old idea. With money in hand, go to Washington, cut through red tape, and get money to pump sand to shore in Merlo Beach, Rodanthe, and Buxton.
As you can see here in Buxton, we need to have a lot of beach nourishment here as well.
Commissioner Alan Burris.
The Park Service obviously doesn't own any property here now, and while this is set up this way that they're not involved and we won't have to go through the stalling tactics that they have.
Burris says the National Park Service does not support beach replenishment, nor does the Southern Environmental Law Center. Senior attorney Julie Youngman.
I think sand replenishment is part of the patchwork solution that you described before. We don't believe that the patchwork solution is the best solution for either keeping Hatteras traffic flowing or for the taxpayers of North Carolina or the people of Hatteras Island.
The patchwork solution Youngman refers to is a less expensive Department of Transportation plan to keep the option of building higher dunes, beach nourishment, and smaller bridges over newly created inlets like the one built last year. Burris has been a loud critic of environmentalists.
They would like to make this a chain of pearls where you have to take a daggone ferry every time you get here.
Stuck in the middle, homeowners like Wadsworth.
Everybody's arguing with each other. Nobody's doing anything.
The Board of Commissioners taking the heat, and that is one reason they're going to Washington.
We want to get beach nourishment going. We want to use some of our money to match it out. If the federal money is available, fine. If state's money is available, fine.
We press Youngman to answer whether she will legally challenge putting more sand on the beach.
I just want to know, would there be a legal challenge if they wanted to have sand replenishment to make the beaches bigger?
After a 12-second pause.
You are asking me things that are outside the scope of my my agreement to interview with you and the scope of our legal challenge, and I'm going to hang up now if you don't stop. I mean, this is...
Judge points out beach replenishment worked in Nags Head, and it can work other places too.
They've reported no house damage. Nobody's not having to put back steps. They're not having to put back decks.
As the two sides duke it out in court, homeowners are simply looking for more beachfront.
This area here has almost been like a red-headed stepchild. It's sort of like everybody's forgotten it, nobody's done anything, and away we go.
They want more beach. It costs about $38 million to expand the beach in South Nagshead. It was done with county and town money. Dare County Board Chairman Warren Judge is convinced the preliminary plan to expand the beach, which is due to the commissioners on Monday, will start the new beginning of saving the beaches in Merlo Beach, Rodanthe, and Buxton, and in turn, building a beach that can better buffer the vulnerable Highway 12. I'm Andy Fox, 10 on your side.